Paul, what's the most difficult part about writing a new series?
For me, it's getting the overall plot down. Now, there's different kinds of series. You have sort of more episodic stories where you have the same characters but an entirely new story each time. And then the series that I've published so far have led to a much larger, complete story, which obviously requires a little bit more work. But I always like to start with the characters and get the characters down pat and figure out in my mind what the characters are like. And in a lot of cases, that will help me plot out how the rest of the series will go.
That's how you do it, but what's the most difficult part of plotting a new series?
The most difficult part, I think, would be breaking it down into individual books because I have an idea for an overall series. So let's say you were rewriting Lord of the Rings. You know how it ends and you know how you want to start it, but you've got to figure out how to get from point A to point B and make it a logical progression. You want your characters to act within character. And that's, I think, the biggest challenge. Sometimes it ruins the immersion. Even in a movie, if a character suddenly does something out of character, people will go, well, that makes no sense. So you have to understand the characters and their motivations and how the situation develops. And I think that's the trickiest part. Usually I shouldn't say usually, I always know how things are going to end. And once again, I know how they begin. Although sometimes I try a couple of different approaches to the beginning. It's the stuff in between that's tricky.
Do you find it hard keeping track of all the characters in a 15-book series?
Yeah, in a 50. Yeah, Heir to the Crown is exceptionally long. I won't be doing another series that long. For something like The Frozen Flame and even Power Ascending, it was much easier. I was also more organized with those because I'd already had the experience of starting off Heir to the Crown. So I was in a much better position in terms of keeping track of that kind of information. And now I have notes and notes and notes that I can refer to.